Hi there. This is H. Victoria Hargrove Atkerson. I'm an author and a writer, and I received a couple of questions from one of my students who would like to know if I kept a diary. I don't keep a diary simply because I don't do anything that interesting. All I do is write all day, and when I'm not writing, I'm usually baking or fishing or cooking or something. I really don't have a exciting life to keep a diary, but I do keep a notepad with me at all times, especially when I'm traveling and especially when I'm going from one area of the country to the other, because I love to listen to people talk and the way they talk, the way they express themselves. A lot of times you get ideas about characters and how they may sound and how they dress. And just describing people's outfits is a quite an interesting writing process, I think, because it's fun. And it's one of the things I love to do. I think the most important thing for a writer to do is to listen and to observe human behavior, because that's what we do. We interpret for others how people present themselves. And you want to keep that in mind when you're writing. It is very important that you include those impressions and verbalize that in a way where people can actually see the characters that you're writing about. So, no, I do not keep a diary, but I do keep a notebook with me at all times. Okay? So, I want to just give you a review of my books. Stones Along the Path was my first publication. It's a wonderful love story between an African American and an African, and the cultural differences is the third character in the story. And I think you'll love it. You'll love it for years and years to come. Part three is coming out very soon because people have asked for it. And my sister, who's no longer with me, Miss Geraldine Stutes, she asked that I please not let these characters die. So we have part one and part two. Part three is coming out soon. And my second book, well, third book, because that's one and two, is Walking Among the Kudzu. And the Kudzu vines is an indication of a troubled life. So anybody walking Kudzu is in trouble, please believe me. I'm from Kudzu country, so I do know that. And it's also about families and how we are given families, and sometimes circumstances provide us with families, as was the case in this book. So be sure to look at it, especially if you have adolescents who are going through certain stages. This is really a great book to understand and to help you to manage behaviors and things that, different phases that teenagers go through. Really a great one. Love the characters in here. They are really funny. And one of the favorites, I was in Washington a few weeks ago, and this was a real favorite. Buttermilk Bottom. This is a book I did not want to write, and I had to be forced to do that by my adopted brother, Mr. Larry Wright. This is a great story, and I'm glad he asked me to do it because the result is this book, which is about a neighborhood from my childhood. I pass this neighborhood every day going back and forth to elementary school. And this particular neighborhood sat in a gigantic ditch, and all the water from the different streets above it filtered down into this community, and the streets were always wet. This is a great, great book because it talks about the last 10 years of this community's life. What was torn down in the 60s, and the Atlantic Civic Center now sits where this community was for over 100 years, because this was one of the places that blacks moved into right after slavery. It was one of the few neighborhoods they were allowed to live in. But the thing that's most impressive about this neighborhood, people who lived there didn't move out. They were there for generations and generations. So it's well worth it just to get a piece of our history, to talk about life under segregation and the Jim Crow era. So take a look at this. It's really great. And then the next one, which is my latest one, which I'm really proud to present to you, Enslaved. I love this depiction of the book that my brother did. He's the artist in this one, and it's a wonderful, wonderful story about an African princess who's abducted, imprisoned, and sold into slavery. So take a look at this. It's a really good one. Call me anytime. I'd love to send you this autographed copy. Okay? Now, before you go and before you say goodbye, before I say goodbye, I want you to do me a favor. Like this program and also subscribe to this channel, because that will guarantee that I can be here to talk to you more about writing and to talk about the writing process and myself as a writer. I can also talk to you about my books, and we can have a relationship. This electronic relationship is really cool. So the subscription that you choose to do, which is the little red button at the bottom of the screen, it doesn't cost anything. It's free. All you have to do is push the button and say that you subscribe. And when you subscribe, it only means that you'll get a notice when I post a video. Okay? It's really simple, but I need your support. Okay? So be sure to like my channel and subscribe. Okay? Have a great day. Love to you.